Right then. Try and do my best, Vince McMahon. Ruthless Aggression. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Ewan McQuaid and I'm not going to do it again. Today we are talking about WWE Ruthless Aggression. It's so hard not to do it. Season 2, this 5-episode miniseries follows on from the previous instalment of the Ruthless Aggression series, which came out, I want to say in 2019, maybe it was sooner than that, but what is time at the moment? Ruthless Aggression. This is an era that I semi-watched via DVD. Didn't watch it live, but I've watched a lot of the pay-per-views because they were like 1p on Amazon back in the day, and I've watched a lot of those, particularly the WrestleManias and stuff, so I have a brief affinity for this era. And Ruthless Aggression, to me, I think the documentary is good. It's very well put together, it's a very well told story. The issue I have with these comes from the last season, in which WWE's constant erasing of history is prominent in that first series, so it leads to a bit of trepidation when I'm looking at this 5-episode series, because they blatantly lied about the WWF thing. You know, they were sued. So yeah, overall I thought this was really good, it was really enjoyable. Shall we get into it? Let's get into it. I'll go episode by episode if I can remember every episode. I think I can. So first off, we had the Rock Goes Hollywood episode. Now, I really liked this one. This one showed quite in depth. It was probably maybe the longest episode that they did, I think. Was it sort of showed that transition of the Rock going to Hollywood and all the heel elements that he brought in from that, being entitled, you know, the Sacramento Rock promo, which just got mega heat, and all the different angles that The Rock was doing at that point. And I found that really fascinating and interesting to see how The Rock sort of tweaked his character, in that he wasn't a straight up heel, he was the babyface, but you know, he just turned it the arrogance a little bit to sort of get the reaction from the fans. And I thought it was really interesting. It was a really good look at The Rock, who surprisingly doesn't have that many sort of mainstream documentaries about him. It was a nice snapshot, because we hear a lot about, you know, Nation Domination Rock and the feud with Austin, but this was like a snapshot into an era of The Rock that we don't really see. So I thought it was nice. I think it's interesting. This one was very interesting. My favourite episode though was episode 2, and that was Innovations. This talked about, you know, the match stipulations that were introduced during the oh my god, that's going to be hard, the Ruthless Aggression era. So one of those was the Elimination Chamber and the other one was Money in the Bank. Now what I was really happy with for this one, and this links into my issue I had, was that they didn't cut out Jericho, which I thought they were going to do when it was talking about the development of the Money in the Bank concept. No, Jericho was put at the forefront, quite honest. He didn't have a talking head or anything, but they acknowledged that he was one of the creators of the stipulation, which I thought was nice. I thought they were going to get rid of that completely. And the Elimination Chamber, seeing sort of like some backstage footage from the first one where Shawn, Triple H, Booker T, Jericho and some of the other competitors in the first Elimination Chamber match are looking at the structure being built and they're just like, oh fuck, that's big. It was really fun, it was really nice. It was a nice look at those sort of things. Raw Roulette as well. I like that Eric Bischoff featured prominently with his introduction of Raw Roulette. There were some interesting concepts that got explored in this episode, so I would highly recommend this one if you don't check out any of the others, because this one, it's not about a wrestler, it's about stipulations, which is a nice change of pace. Episode 3 focused on women's wrestling in Ruthless Aggression, and oh my god, this one was interesting, but at the same time it is shockingly horrific what they had to do and some of the, particularly following on that I've just watched the Knockouts Roundtable, seeing what women had to do in WWE at this point, it's really gross, it's not fun to revisit, and they can put a twist on it as much as WWE want that they were having this women's revolution in '06 with Trish and Lita. But they really weren't. This was really sad seeing how some of the women got treated. And yeah, you know, slightly depressing angle, but it was nice seeing Trish and Lita get the spotlight. It wasn't very long, it was about half an hour this one. And yeah, it's a damning indictment to sort of the women's wrestling in that period. So yeah, check it out if you want. Episode 4 was about the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the resurrection of Shawn Michaels. This one was good. I thought it was really good. I thought it showed Shawn's transition well, coming back from injury. His feud with Triple H, his feud with Angle. A lot of people, you know, rave about the match with Angle. And it was just fun. It was nice character development for Shawn, showing his entire story. You had him as a talking head, which is nice. And he just told his story. The issue with this episode is that they make out like Shawn retired at WrestleMania 26. He didn't. We all know he didn't. At this point, just acknowledge the Crown Jewel match. Was it Crown Jewel? I think it was Crown Jewel. Just acknowledge it, because it's an elephant in the room, and we all know. So acting like he had this blissful retirement at WrestleMania 26, you know, just rings hollow, because we know it didn't happen. But other than that, I thought it was really good, really nice. And the final episode was what was it called? It was about, I can't remember the name of the episode, sorry, the Up and Comers. So it was about, not FCW, OVW, Ohio Valley Wrestling, and Tough Enough. It was good. It was good, this one. I liked that it showed OVW, because we had the FCW documentary, the long form documentary of FCW, and this was prior to that, when you got that big class of big names: Batista, Brock, Randy, Cena, Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, by the way, it is shocking he hasn't won a world title, main evented WrestleMania, because they hype him up so much throughout these Ruthless Aggression documentaries, and he hasn't done anything. It's so sad, because he's great. You see like his performances in the Money in the Bank match, or like his match with Jericho on Raw, where he won the Intercontinental Championship, and it's annoying, because you're like, he's right there, look how good he is. So yeah, little Shelton Benjamin rant out the way. Other than that, it was really good. You know, Tough Enough, I'm tempted to go back and watch. I wonder if that's very problematic. I feel like it is, but it was unique. It was a unique way of bringing in talent, and you see people like John Morrison and The Miz both come up through the Tough Enough system. So it did make stars, slightly, and it then climaxes with Miz, John Cena and The Rock at WrestleMania, because you've got these different people all there. You've got someone from OVW, got someone from the Warehouse Days and The Rock, and you've got someone from Tough Enough, all culminating in the main event of WrestleMania in a terrible angle. So yeah, that's the documentary in short. I really liked it. I thought it was enjoyable. I'm curious as to how much was true. Again, that's one of the issues with documentaries like this. But yeah, overall I'd give this about 3.5 stars. If you've got a free afternoon, 5 episodes, you can finish it like that. I would recommend it. So yeah, let me know if you've checked out Ruthless Aggression Season 2. And tell me your thoughts. Did you think it was good? Did you enjoy it? What would you have changed? Do you want to see another season? Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.